Hey, what's going on, nerds? My name is Trogdor, officially this time, and I've got another week of the NSTL coming right up. This is week number 7, and we are coming off of a pretty decent win. I'm gonna say a lot. I apologize for that, but it's difficult to keep my thoughts concise and consistent when I'm recording live. Anyway, non-scripted, all impromptu. Yeah, we're coming off week 6. We won that match, and we're even record now. We're 3-3, -2 because we've been losing bigger than we've been winning, but that's okay. Record is more important than differential in my opinion, and it's the general consideration. We are going into week 7. I hope that you checked out my team builder. I went in depth as to what I am bringing versus DFP, my good buddy who I invited to the league after I was invited by old man Tapu. So yeah, good buddy of mine, and we agreed like, hey, let's not meme or do anything like that. Let's just like no holding back. Let's have a real proper game, and that's what I intend to do. Although I did bring some spice, and I do believe DFP will be bringing some major spice as well. I tend to know how he plays. We help each other build a lot in other weeks, but this time it was just all us. So I've got my Dancing Zygarde with Lumberry because I know he's going to most likely status me, either like Toxic with Bronzong, Sleep Powder with Venusaur, potentially Toxic or Scald Burns with Vaporeon. I've got my Hole Punching Gyarados, which I decided to just go for attacks with no Dragon Dance. I have the Supersonic Sky Strike that'll be dealing major damage to the likes of Venusaur if I get a chance to hit that. I have a speedy Mega Manectric, which will hit the Vaporeon very hard. It can bop the Dragonite and Landorus with Hidden Power Ice if I predict correctly. I have my Shell Smashing Cloyster, which, looking at his team composition, can, after +2/+2/+2, can OHKO everything except for that Bronzong. And it will, of course, break Mimikyu's Disguise and kill it with 4 hits of Icicle Spear. It'll break Dragonite's Multiscale and then just bop it with a single Icicle Spear. And it will even OHKO Mega Venusaur after a round of rocks. I have Safety Goggles Latias, which is meant to be my dedicated switch into Mega Venusaur. I am immune to the Sleep Powder, and I can do huge damage with Psychic. And then I have an offensive Stealth Rock Heatran that is meant to take on the Mimikyu, the what else did I want it to take on? The Entei, but Entei didn't come this round, so it's basically dedicated to Mimikyu, and I will be dealing seriously good damage to that Bronzong. So we are going to get right into the match now. I'm not going to play the music. So I'm leading with Manectric, and he is leading with Venusaur. So I figured his Volt Switch immunity is Landorus, and if he leads Landorus, I'm just going to go for the safe Hidden Power Ice. Otherwise, I have no reason not to go for the Volt Switch to get some momentum right away. So he leads with Venusaur, and I'm just going to show my cards right away and go Volt Switch straight into my Latias to let him know you cannot freely go for Sleep Powders on my watch. So I Mega Evolve, he Mega Evolves, so he's staying in. And I'm, just going to do what I said, go right into my Latias as he goes for the Sleep Powder, and I'm immune to it. So I'm glad that worked out right away. So now I'm obviously threatening him with a really big Psychic, so anything coming in is going to take some serious damage. Bronzong comes in, and I go for the Psychic. I calc that, and that is a specially defensive Bronzong. It looks like it's meant to, be an easy switch into Latias, Manectric, and Heatran. And I have a funny feeling that it's going to be heat proof. I'm not sure yet. I haven't done any damage calcs because my biggest ground attacker, Zygarde, like that's going to hit it even if it had Levitate. So yeah, I'm predicting that it might be a heat proof Bronzong. So I switch right into my Heatran as he gets up his rocks. Rocks are toxic, I can switch in. I go for rocks as well, and he goes for an Earthquake and pops my berry right away. So I don't really want to take another one of those. I honestly misplay number 1 of this game. I'm going to be making a lot of misplays. I switch into my Manectric. I don't know why, because it's just not a good switch into Bronzong. Gyarados would have been a much better switch. So I go into Manectric. as he goes for an Earthquake, and it's not doing a lot of damage. I go for Flamethrower, and it's right here. When I calc that damage, I know for a fact that that is a heat-proof Bronzong. Flamethrower would have been doing a lot more, because originally I decided to go for Flamethrower instead of Overheat because it would have done enough damage. I didn't take Heatproof into consideration at that time, and I do not want to risk missing. I prefer 100% accurate moves, so I'm going for the Flamethrower there, and yeah, it's just not doing a lot of damage at all. As he goes for a Toxic, now Mega Manectric is put onto a serious timer, and it cannot do much more for me this game. He goes into Lando as I Volt Switch, which that was the most obvious switch to Manectric ever. He goes into Lando. I'm immune to the, well, he's immune to the Volt Switch, and I get another turn of Toxic. If I had predicted correctly, I could have just bopped a Lando right away. I'm not going to let this thing get any chance to do what it wants to do, so I'm going to go straight for Hidden Power Ice. But if he's like Yachi with Rock Polish, it's GG because I'm not carrying Ice Shard on Cloyster. But we'll see what he wants to do. I take a round of Toxic. He switches though and goes into Bronzong as I go for the Hidden Power. That was kind of obvious, as Toxic's just, it's taking me down. So I'm going to switch into Manectric, save it for Death Fodder later on, as he Toxic my Gyarados as well. So Gyarados is put on a timer, so I'm just going to punch as many holes as I can. He goes into Vaporeon, takes a round of Rocks as I go for the Crunch, which does considerable damage. He is Rocky Helmet, so Gyarados is also not lasting long. That Bronzong is putting some of my hole punchers on a serious timer, and I'm having a lot of trouble with Bronzong. So I look at Gyarados and I calc it. That Vaporeon is not leftovers. So since I'm Max Attack Adamant, with my Supersonic Sky Strike, I've got a 50% chance of killing it right here, right now. So I am just going to say, you know what? Gyarados isn't going to be around much longer anyway. I'm just going to go for it. I go for my Z-Power, Supersonic Sky Strike, and he lives on 3. So that was a roll. I didn't get the roll, you know, it's whatever. So I get a chance to go into Zygarde as he goes for the Protect. So as I mentioned earlier, I am Lumberry, so his options are to either go for a Toxic or go for a Scald and Fish for the burn as I Dragon Dance. That'll go for an Ice Beam. I don't know if he would carry Ice Beam on Vaporeon, but I've got a chance to Dragon Dance right here to see what he wants to do, and then do some serious damage to his team. So he gets his Wish back, which, you know, didn't get a chance to go for Extreme Speed. So I Dragon Dance as he goes for the Scald. He does not get the burn, but again, it wouldn't have mattered if he did. So I think that I've got a chance to go for another Dragon Dance, and no matter what, something is going to go down. It could be the Vaporeon, which frees up Cloyster a lot more, which frees up Heatran a lot more, which frees up Latias a lot more. So yeah, I'm just going to go for another dance, show my Dragon Energy, as he goes for another Scald. He doesn't get a burn, but again, it wouldn't have mattered, and I take it out with 1,000 Arrows. So now, he does a smart play and goes into Mimikyu, obviously. I cannot hit it for any damage. The best I can do is break the Disguise, which, yeah, that's an insanely good ability. So here, he can either like go for a Swords Dance and hope that a Shadow Sneak will kill next turn, or go for a Play Rough, risk the miss, as I can take it out with 1,000 Arrows the following turn. But yeah, I go break its Disguise because I need to bop that Disguise immediately. As he goes for the Play Rough, it connects and I go down. So I want to say that Zygarde went down for a good cause. I was able to set up on the Vaporeon to take it out, and yeah, unfortunately my priority does not hit Mimikyu. Wouldn't have mattered anyway, and I get a chance to go straight into Heatran, because now he has a couple options. He can either go for damage right away. Even a max Z Snuggle will not take out my Heatran. It will maybe do 50%, and any other attack he does will just like do not a lot of damage. So in this range, he can either go for a Swords Dance and do no damage to me, and I can go for a Flash Cannon, or he can go for damage and it'll do pitiful damage, and I can go Flash Cannon. Either way, I am going to, like, I calculate Flash Cannon is going to take it out. So he goes for the Swords Dance, and yeah, Flash Cannon goes down, and Mimikyu only gets 1 kill this game. Just 1 kill for Mimikyu. Landorus coming in, and Heatran is not going to live in Earth Power. Even if I was like level 100 with Shuka Berry still intact, I wouldn't be living this Earth Power. there's just not a chance that I'm ever going to live this Earth Power. So something has to die. I did keep Manectric around for Death Fodder. I kept Gyarados around for Death Fodder because both of those are on a serious timer with the Toxic. So I'm going to be switching in one of those. Just kidding. I come into Latias as he goes for a sub. That's scary. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't switch either of those in for Death Fodder, but they would have died and he would have been behind a sub. So I guess it was this safe play. I would have been immune to its Earth Power anyway, but he goes for the sub and I just need to break the sub. This also shows me that he is not Scarfed, so Latias does outspeed. So I can take any one hit from it, break the sub, and then take it out the next turn. So yeah, the sub goes down. I, of course, have Ice Beam. Sludge Wave does not do a lot of damage. Knockoff would have done more, but I'm pretty sure like a mix set. I don't know why he didn't bring a mix set, but that would have done a lot more damage. But I tanked the Sludge Wave pretty good. He switches out, of course, as I go for the Ice Beam. Now right here, I forgot that I had Shadow Ball. So if I'd remembered that, I could have just like cleaned up with Latias right here, right now. I think his best option would have been Gyro Ball, and I'm pretty bulky. I don't even know if he's running Gyro Ball. That or Toxic, and yeah, I would have been able to just clean up right here with Latias. But I forgot that I had Shadow Ball, so my best option was to switch out. So that was a pretty dumb play on my part. I sat Gyarados as he goes for Earthquake, so I can get a switch into my... Okay, I wanted to Cloyster here, and I honestly don't know why. So I was looking at his team, and I was like, oh, with Latias can't take out Bronzong. For some reason, I was looking for a safe switch into my Cloyster at this point in time, even though Bronzong was still around. And I told myself earlier in the game, once Bronzong goes down, Cloyster is free. And I was looking for a free switch into it, but I brought it in at the worst possible time. So I take a round of rocks, and then I realized, wait a minute, I can't stay in. There's no way. I'm going to outspeed, Shell Smash, and I'm going to be at -2 defense and +2 speed, so Gyro Ball is going to be doing 9,000 damage to me. So bringing in Cloyster here was probably a worse misplay than not going for Shadow Ball with Latias. So this Bronzong is just like using mind control to make me do terrible misplays. So yeah, that happened, and I switched it out because why would I stay in? So I got rid of Gyarados for no reason. He goes for Iron Head and takes up Manectric. So that happened, and yeah, terrible misplays. So I do what I should have done earlier and bring in Heatran. I'm pretty sure that I can 2-hit KO with Earth Power because, again, Heat Proof, I calc the damage. And he showed how much he was doing with Earthquake already. So I can probably live a hit and 2-hit KO with this Bronzong, even after the Rocks damage. So yeah, that does a lot of damage. Earth Power hits the Bronzong, he goes for the Earthquake, I live it, and I'm able to go for another Earth Power, which takes it out. So that was probably the most annoying way to deal with the Bronzong. I had like 3 different ways to take it out, and I went through, sacked 2 Mons, switched in Cloyster unnecessarily to take like Rocks damage, only to get Heatran in when I should have brought it in like 3 turns ago. So that was a completely unnecessary waste of time, and I misplayed horribly around the Bronzong because I do not play well against Bronzong. So yeah, that happened. And now I'm going to die to an Earth Power. But at this point in time, it looks like Latias is having another free time, because I kill Landorus with Ice Beam. Even if I just looked at it with, like I said, Ice Beam to Landorus, it's going down. Dragonite is going to be taking Rock, so its multi-scale is gone, and I'm going to be taking that out with Ice Beam. And Venusaur too, Psychic, and it can't Sleep Powder me. So things are looking really good for Latias right now, despite, you know, my misplays around Bronzong. I've still got like a really good chance to like win with Latias right here, unless he reveals some like secret spice. And I still have Cloyster in the back, but it's already taken a lot of Rocks damage, so Cloyster's looking less and less viable because of how horribly I misplayed around the Bronzong. I go for Ice Beam right here, kills a Landorus, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as he goes into Dragonite. Ice Beam takes out Dragonite, of course, and I like outspeed it. Maybe he thought that, I don't know. I wasn't sure why he went into Dragonite first instead of Venusaur, but he goes into Dragonite and outspeeds me with an Ice Beam. So that is a Scarf Special Dragonite, and I love that spice, but it makes Latias go down, and I've only got Cloyster left, which takes another round of Rocks. But this Dragonite is obviously choiced, so I can be living in Ice Beam, and I'm basically free to set up. So +2 obviously KOs the Venusaur, and I wasn't certain about my investment, but I just had to double check, would I be able to outspeed Dragonite at +2, and I'm pretty sure I do. So my only chance at winning right here is getting off a successful Shell Smash. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, as Ice Beam does like 4 damage to me, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be able to take any one hit. I just need to get this done and take it out with 1 Icicle Spear, so Dragonite had no chance. Venusaur comes in, and I just had to double check the amount of damage that I was doing. I'm pretty sure he's max physical defense, but I wasn't able to gauge the damage earlier in the match. And of course, since I'm at -2 Spidef, like a Giga Drain would like take me out easily. So I just really have to hope that my 5 hits of Icicle Spear will be able to take out this Mega Venusaur. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, took it out in 4 hits. So yeah, I just won against DFP, at the time the top of the league and undefeated. So I just gave DFP his first loss. That was a very good game. I loved all the sets that were brought, especially that Scarf Dragonite, that Heat-Proof Bronzong, and obviously Vaporeon had the Rocky Helmet for Cloisters, like multi-hit moves. Like if he switched into Vaporeon on an Icicle Spear or a Rock Blast, which I had, that would have just done more damage in recoil from Rocky Helmet than I would have done to Vaporeon, and maybe not gotten a chance for Natural Gift. But again, good game, DFP. I believe he's still top of the conference, our division, but at this time it's uncertain who's in the 2nd spot. Spoilers, some games have not been played. It all depends on Don Fanatic and if he wins or loses his next game, because we had the same record at one point. It's just a matter of differential. So after this game, it's like really unclear who's in the 2nd spot, but there's a very good chance that it could be me, especially after my 2 recent wins. So it may very well be that after this match, DFP and I are spot 1 and spot 2. So long story short, it'll be extremely cool to for us two to go into the playoffs together and face each other one more time. If that happens, that'd be awesome, because I still have some other sets that I did not choose to bring that I think will do great against him in the future. But yeah, not gonna reveal any secrets, just I've got a few more tricks up my sleeve, but I'm sure he does as well, given the the rosters that he didn't bring. Like I was scared of Meloetta, I was scared of Shedinja. Hitmontop potentially could have done some work. So we'll see in the future. I'm really hoping that us two can be the 1 and 2 spot. But we've still got 8, 9, 10. We've still got 4 more games to play each, and anything could happen. Only time will tell. But yeah, good game, DFP, and we'll see you hopefully in the playoffs. Anyone watching this, if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel to see more awesome battles like this. Like the video if you liked it, and toss a comment if you want to say anything about the battle, because I'd be happy to talk to anyone about it. Yeah, anyway, that's all I've got for today. I'm gonna get on out of here. So yeah, subscribe for more, and you can go check out my other battles thus far in the NSTL. All right, bye-bye.